right, guys, we got Noah, Dillon, and Chandler from the Hellp here today. Welcome to the show, boys.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah, fresh off a show last night. How was it?
Yeah, we just had a show last night, and you weren't there.
I know. You did. I'm sorry.
It was electric.
It looked, so I looked, don't worry, I watched all the footage. It looked fucking incredible. Like, the energy there. I feel like there's a lot of girls in the crowd, too. What's your biggest, like, fan base? Describe your fan base.
Oddly, there never used to be girl fans, ever. It was just, I think, sort of lost 19 to 23-year-old males who didn't necessarily have a father figure. And we kind of...
That's so niche.
It's just, that's kind of what it seemed, but no girls. But now, I think the last year around this time, we played an LA show at the Fonda, and I read the whole first 3 rows were just girls. Where'd you come from?
Becoming sex symbols.
Like, I hope not. But
we are.
I don't, man, I feel like we don't make music for girls, or like, rather, if I were a girl, I don't know if I would put on the Hellp first choice. But
yeah, okay.
It's interesting to see. Yeah, the show's cool, though.
Well, congrats. It seemed like a success. It seemed very cool. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'll be there next time.
Beyond that, once again, it was sort of an iconoclastic show for New York. Like, I hate to come at the gate that strong already, but it was a moment. It was just a moment. If you were there, people were, it was one of those special moments that only happens every once in a while.
Yeah, you can't manufacture
it. It couldn't have gone any better. And
that's great.
To be completely transparent, if we're really going to be breaking these floodgates open,
yeah,
like,
break the ice.
Nobody does it like us. Like, nobody is. No one's thinking about live shows like we are. No one's performing like we are. And I mean, obviously, you can go see, fucking Oasis or 9 Inch Nails or something in a stadium, but at a contemporary 2,000-person venue kind of world, get out of here.
Yeah, no, I love that confidence. I want to talk about how you guys met, because I think it was kind of through Luca, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that and like how the Hellp formed, because I know you were on your New York shit early, but talk to me about like how you guys formed it and like what happened.
The Soho days. Yeah. So I'm from Colorado, and I just wanted to get out of there, of course, but I started taking photographs, posting them online. And actually, I've never really said this in an interview format, but do you know Gabe Uzi?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to South by Southwest in 2015 when I was really young, and I like bought a fake ID so I could get it, whatever. And I knew no one. I think I had 13 Instagram followers. Like, I was not connected to
Not clouded yet?
not clouded. And I just went, I knew there was a specific party that maybe a lot of these type of guys would be at. Somehow got my way in. And I was standing in the corner, and Gabe just walked in. Of course, I knew who he was. He looked at the corner.
You have green hair at the time?
He didn't have green hair. It was just black hair.
Okay.
And he looks at me, walks over, he said, "You're with us now." He just knew. He always knew that's what his strong suit was. He just knew who was right or who wasn't.
Energy.
And I just went with him, and he took me backstage with Rocky, and like, I don't know, it was a whole thing, and it really changed my life. And from there, I sort of was put on the map just a little bit, like a little validation. And then I continually posted photographs online. Luca Sabat, he DM'd me on Twitter because there was a photo. I witnessed the aftermath of this. I was doing a documentary in Gallup, New Mexico, which is like the confluence of the Native reservation and the Navajo reservation in New Mexico. And I was doing a documentary there, and on my last day, the hotel I was staying at, there was a murder, and I took a photograph of all the blood-soaked mattress, and on the white linen, I took a photo of it, and it's like a very polarizing image, and Luca loves that sort of thing. He loves like this edgy,
shock value,
derogatory, like those sort of things.
Yeah.
And he DM'd me, he's like, I want to do a photo project thing, and I'm like, he's like, come to LA. I said, okay. I went to LA. I thought I was going to sleep in the airport. I didn't sleep in the airport, and I went with, and now that I think back, I Ubered in, and I was wearing some ridiculous outfit because like I really hadn't been socialized yet. Like, I had no friends in Colorado, and I'd never been to a major city, and so I was just like, it was just kind of flow state. Whatever I truly am, that's what I was. And he said, meet me at the sushi place at the Grove, and I was like, what is the Grove? I don't even know. Had my suitcase, went there, and I pull up, and he's with like 2 of the most beautiful girls I'd ever seen. Ever. Because in Colorado, they don't make it like that.
Yeah.
It's like model. I think it was like Piper America, Lucky Blue Smith's sister, and another girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is...
So you got socialized pretty quick.
Very quick. We became good friends right after that, and started shooting. And then the second to last day of the shoot, Luca was casting different models, and we wanted like a punk rock sort of look.
Enter Chandler.
Chandler Lucy. And Chandler had just modeled for like Midnight Studios way back when it was just first starting, and it was like this burgeoning brand. And so that's how Luca found him. Chandler came to LA, and we didn't like each other for I would say a solid 4.5 hours. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I don't know, whatever. I'm like sitting in this hotel room. But then we started shooting, and there was like an A$AP Rocky song that came on in the car, and we were both like screaming the lyrics.
Do you remember which one?
Was it Lord Pretty? No, it was
Lord Pretty Fuck is your idea too. It was like 6 a.m. driving back from the desert. Shout out Dee Thomas.
Yeah, shout out Dee. So that's kind of how it happened. And then I told him on that trip, I said, learn how to play the drums, pick up drumsticks.
It was the second trip, actually.
It was the second trip, but just for condensed.
Okay, apologies.
Storytelling. I told him to learn how to drums. He said, why? I said, don't worry about it, just do it. I had already started the band with this kid from my town, and I had already made the first record in my college classroom, and that came out, and then I absorbed Chandler into the band maybe.
So you knew you wanted a band from the start, or was it let's do photography and creative and see what happens?
No, it was more so I was living in my car when I was 18 and for like 9 or 10 months, and I'm like, I gotta get my life together. Enrolled into college, hated it, classic story. And I thought, well, maybe I'll be like a DP, or maybe I'll be, but I had no idea that you could actually do this stuff. It was like very sheltered small town, very, very sheltered. I really did not know that you could do anything. I saw a Complex article, and it said the top 10 young creatives doing their thing. And it was like, the OG list, like Ian Connor, blah, 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 like all those guys. And I was like, no way. Like you can really do something if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Well, maybe I'll be a stylist. Maybe I'll be a DP. Well, I'm going to make a clothing brand. But so I made these t-shirts, which I never really told anybody this, but it was kind of just like undercover ripoff, like graphic wise, but it was like kind of cute. But I'm like, well, now I need somebody to shoot the lookbook though. There has to be a good lookbook. I didn't know anybody. I'm like, well, I'm just going to shoot the lookbook with these skateboarder friends, like children rather, that I had in the town. And I was like, why am I so good at this photo? Why am I so
Wait, why am I goated?
Yeah, like why am I way better than everybody else just immediately? So kind of did that, and then when that started, I started like taking photography very seriously, and in the same breath, I woke up one morning and I really thought, what am I going to regret the most on my deathbed if I'm not in a cool band? I have to be in a cool band. And so it just started from there.
Wow.
Things fell into place, but
that's pretty sick. Chandler, what was your goals or aspirations when you were younger? Was it like modeling, or how'd you fall into that?
No. We were very similar. We both grew up in like small towns. I grew up in a small town in Northern California called Glen Ellen, which is like,
near Sonoma, right?
Yeah. Right outside Sonoma. I mean, it's Sonoma County, but if you know, Glen Ellen's its own little spot. Shout out Jack London. And I grew up there, and I was like any other white kid in California. I just wanted to skateboard and blow things up, and I only listened to punk rock. My favorite band was Blink-182 and whatever. But once high school hit, and like he was mentioning with the blossoming culture that was happening, A$AP Mob, Danny Brown, YouTube rap, Riff Raff, Little B, all that stuff. That was like, it was so. Can we swear?
Yeah.
So it was so fucking cool. Thought it was so tight. And
this was kind of goth money era too, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
And I just dude, at the time in high school, I just wanted to be fresh, just wanted cool clothes. And it was me and about two other close friends of mine. We were the only ones in our town who knew about Karma Loop. So we were 10 deep, Risu, Black Scale, but we didn't have the money for Supreme. Mishka did.
LRG and Diamond Supply and all that was Karma Loop days. I remember that. Lifted Research,
man,
dude.
Yeah.
That was 8th grade, 9th grade for me. I was same thing. So I'm gonna go right back to you, but I feel like we had similar stories where small town, not too many people were into like fashion or music like I was.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, let's like take this a little bit more seriously and focus on style and like aura first, and the rest will follow.
Exactly.
Totally.
And it was now it's like male fashion is so dominating now. Like everybody is wearing. Everybody's dressed cool now, sure. And back then it was really hard. It was really hard to be cool, to get made fun of every single day, and want to have the skinny jeans that are cuffed just right with the Vans and all of that. And all I wanted to do was be fresh. And then I was like, I hated high school, hated teachers. I was like, why am I doing homework? This is so stupid. I just want to skateboard and talk to girls. And then I Oh, also the other thing was that we also both had worked construction since we were about 13 years old. So that was the other part of my life, hanging out with rednecks and all that. And then,
Learn discipline, probably.
yeah, we definitely have applied it to what we do now. And then I was like, I hate school, dropped out of high school. Then I was like, I want to make a clothing brand. I want to do that. Went to community college, started taking sewing classes and all that. And I said, wow, I fucking hate this. And then Shane Avelli, Shane Gonzalez, shout out Shane one time. He posted on his Instagram and was like, need a model, skinny, just sent him a DM. He was like, dude, you're on it. He was like, come to LA. So didn't know anybody, didn't know anything, just took a train to LA. And then very similar to Noah, got to LA all my own dime. He never paid for that or any of my food or anything, which is really funny. I had no money time. We were both working grocery stores at the same time in our lives. And told them it works. So I got a big opportunity in LA. I got to go do something. They're like, Chandler, you get out there, boy. You go do your thing, you know? Like it was a very like movie moment. They were like, so we'll cover your shift, you know? And then got out
That's
there.
heartwarming. That's nice.
It was kind of beautiful. And then I remember my mom, and like, you know, I was like 19 or whatever at the time. I remember my mom being like, you're not doing that. You don't know anyone out there. Like, Mom, I'm 19. I'm fucking going out there. I'm like, here's a photo of Wiz Khalifa wearing this guy's clothes. Like, it's actually real. And I got there, and I just remember getting a text saying, you're going to get in this Uber. Don't take any photos. I'm taking you somewhere private. I go, okay. And I show up and immediately walk in, or get out of the Uber rather. And I see his house, and I go, where do I know this house from? Oh, I believe it was either Noisy. Noisy, the A$AP Rocky Suddenly 5-part docuseries. And I saw the house and I said, that's A$AP Rocky's house. Went in there and met A$AP Rocky. Was like, or I didn't meet him yet. Walked in, so I didn't use the bathroom. Walked in the bathroom, looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, don't fuck this up. Just be cool. And then, yeah, after that, I modeled and then met Noah. And I remember the only thing I knew about him was there was a photo of him posing on this like a 90s like Suzuki like dirt bike, I think it was, something like that. You know, you had your hair coiffed back, you know?
Enduro bike.
Enduro, yeah. And I remember thinking, who the fuck is this other cool white guy? There can only be one cool white guy on planet Earth. And I think he felt similar about me. And then
Had to compete for the one cool white guy.
Right.
yeah, no, I mean, at that time,
It's me.
In that window of American history, I think there was only room for, I guess, 2 cool white guys.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I think it was, we were talking and he was, I was like, yeah, I work in a grocery store right now. He's like, so do I. I'm like, yeah, but I usually work construction outside. Then he was like, so do I. I was like, yeah, my dad's like a pretty good contract. He's like, so is my dad. And I was like,
damn, something's here.
All right.
There's a lot of similarities between Chandler and our lives, I guess.
So it sounds like it was kind of kismet for you guys to meet and create the Hellp. Where does the Hellp come from? Like, why that name?
I was just trying to come up with a name desperately, and the kids that I were hanging out with when I was at that point in my town, there was these 2 skater kids that were like 14, 15, and I was like 19, and I picked them up from school, and like I was kind of their parental figure almost, and they were very special and very creative, and they ended up coming to LA and like, you know, doing the whole William Strobeck thing and whatever, but you know, they were like, oh, you should call the band Orange Crush, or you should call it. And I was like, whatever, like nothing was landing. And then I was just sitting in bed after church one day, and it just kind of popped into my head, almost like an edgelordy thing, you know, like, oh, like hell with the P, like the hell, you know, but I don't know, just kind of stuck. And I never even really necessarily liked the name, but I don't know, it's stood the test of time. So
yeah, you rode with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get like every now and then you just get one transmission from the above, you know. And I think the Hellp.
Did you guys play like video games growing up?
I did a lot.
Which ones?
I think I think like Halo Combat Evolved is like the fucking greatest, one of the most beautiful artistic endeavors created by somebody.
I loved Halo 3. That was my game.
Dude, I've said this to Noah, I've said this to everybody, like, you know, we played a show to, you know, 1,500 people last night, screaming our names. It was very fun. You know, we went out, we partied, you know, all this stuff. You know, I've done a lot of fun things. I've never had 10% the amount of fun I had playing Halo 3 custom games with my friends back in like I guess middle school.
Yeah, like
Never had that much
2009.
fun ever again. Yeah. I never have had that much fun. It was such a beautiful moment. But that, like, I loved PlayStation 1 games. I loved like Spyro the Dragon was like my favorite. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, obviously. Gears of War, at one point I was like I was in like the top 5 like doubles clans on game battles and Gears of War 1, you know.
MLG.
Yeah, I was really serious in the video games.
Well, I just thought of, because like creating
It's
a name
time,
is
it's
almost like a gamer tag, where
Yeah.
you think about what kind of incorporates part of your creativity and part of what you like,
Yeah.
but then you can like hopefully withstand the test of time. So I don't know. It's a cool, easy name. I just was curious. I don't think I knew where it came from.
I knew I wanted to do a because at the time I was obsessed with the Velvet Underground. Every like band in the 60s was a and that's the test of time. So I figured if it wanted to be taken seriously, I would just put a prefix of and then something else to follow.
Interesting.
And I thought, man, if the Beatles can be called the Beatles,
Yeah,
I can call it the Hellp.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's funny. Thinking about like the younger culture right now and kind of this group that we've cultivated of these, 20 and underish guys and girls, who are some of the coolest figures that I guess you've worked with recently or that you're helping their creatives?
I mean, kind of the people that you're tapped in with, but, Fake Mink, Two Hollis, Ian, Net, like kind of all those guys. And there's more than that, of course, but those are kind of the leaders.
Yeah, I would say those are like the leaders and most exciting in the scene right now.
I mean, Fake Mink is especially peculiar and interesting just because he's so odd in person. He's a very, very odd man, but he's so odd. It reminds me of how I would imagine Lil Wayne would talk to people way back in the day.
Yeah.
Like he's so interesting, and just like every second is about how he can further his narrative. It's like the way he will pick up a glass. It's not about like aura farming or anything. It's just like, I'm going to take a photo of this, or like he's just so locked into his mission and his narrative. It's really beautiful to see. I sort of used to be like that, and things happen over the years. But Fake Mink's really interesting. Have you listened to London Savior?
Yes. Yeah.
You remember the cover?
Yep. You did it?
If you take a look at it.
I don't remember. I can't find my phone.
It's like him and 2 other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the guy in the middle.
I never knew that. It's incredible.
And funny enough, at the time, I guess he took that photo with me as a fan like 3 years ago, maybe in London, and I didn't think anything of it because whatever, we take a lot of fan photos, this and that, and don't really remember the interaction, but I remember about a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years, people started sending me like, off SoundCloud, London Savior. I'm like, and I hate to admit, I'm very much on the cutting edge. Like, I know what's going to be cool or what is being cool. I was so late to him. I heard it and I was like, what is this garbage? Like,
well, 3 years ago is early though.
I mean, yeah, but like, I didn't endorse it. I was like, this is garbage, whatever. Anyways. And then a year after that, when he started getting some notoriety, I'm like, oh, like I'm on the cover of Fake Mink.
Yeah.
Hollis is really sick. Been close with him for years now. I mean, I remember when we first met Hollis, he came over to our apartment in LA.
Yeah.
It was just like kind of
white knight,
bratty, like, kind of like pimply, 17, whatever, 16, whatever, how old he was, like with glasses sitting on the couch. And he's like, I'm Hollis. I'm like, what's the deal with this guy? Like, what I mean? And then immediately he pulls out his phone. I don't even know why I should tell him, but he pulls out his phone and it's like a photograph of just a BBL girl, and he says, these are the kind of girls I like. He's like, who are you? It's so funny. But seeing his metamorphosis from like really just a child and a kind of like whatever teenager to a full on man and artist, really big to watch.
Very tight.
Yeah.
To speak about these younger kids, like there was somebody on our team, I won't say names, and they were making a joke when they were watching Nets band up there. And it's like rap shows now. It's like it's not necessarily about the sonicality or anything. It's just the energy, the vibe, and yelling and just being a part of it. You know what I mean? Whatever. And so when he's like, yeah, I could do this. Like I'm just gonna prove that I could do it. And I was like, dude, you guys are all missing the mark. Like there are like what Nets band, for example, like. He doesn't need to be doing rap music. He just has something that you can't be taught.
You can't replicate that.
It's how you stand. It's how you talk. It's how you just say what up. You know what I mean? And like Hollis, Fake Mink, like Fake Mink for especially like Noah was saying, is such a fascinating cat. Like he blew my mind when we were hanging out with them. I was just like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
you're kind of destined. You either have it or you don't. It's that like it factor. You can tell right away. It's like, wow, that person is interesting. There's something about that.
Like I said, like I always say, you can either throw a baseball or you can't.
Yep.
You can train your whole life to throw it better, but you either are born with it or you're not. And
yeah.
Like you can tell when somebody has it, I guess. But
that's so true.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like if you know, my metaphor for it is like, you know, Noah and I aren't always, you know, dressed in our
heady
skin. Well, hold on now. Let's
discuss the fits.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the heady salon out.
I don't want to jump the gun on that.
Respectfully.
Yes.
But you know, there's days of fucking walking in the Whole Foods in sweatpants, you know what I mean, or just that or something. But that it thing, like it's I'll walk into a store dressed like a construction worker. And people will still just be looking, you know what I mean? And I don't think it's because I'm necessarily super handsome. I think I'm kind of ugly, honestly. But there's just this kind of energetic, and I don't want to say aura, I don't want to say it, but there's this energetic imposition that people have or don't have that just draws eyes of the riffraff and the rabble that are out there in the world.
I was just in Montreal and I went to Notre Dame, and their official merch, it's a white graphic of their window pane, and below it just says aura. They've had that for 20 years, and like they were onto something. Like I
should have bought that.
I did buy it, but sick. I can't wear it. But I think maybe Luca can, or something like that.
Yeah.
Aura has been the most used word of, I think, the past year or two.
For sure.
Yeah.
What word is going to come next? Do you have any prediction?
I mean, whatever Kai Cenat
performative,
whatever Kai Cenat says or Speed says on the next stream, you know. I mean, I think like who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy seeing streamers, the streamer market take off. Also, like that's a whole nother type. What we were talking about earlier of like, you know, 2015, we knew we were kind of onto something early, but we couldn't yet pinpoint it of what it was. Whereas now it's like that next level of entertainment for these younger kids is like streaming. People just want to watch streamers all day. Yeah. And that was never around 5 years ago. I mean, I guess there were people doing lives, but streaming is like...
Yeah, but you think about like old shows like Big Brother or whatnot, like we have been like that idea that is entertainment has been supplanted over the past like 20, 30 years almost. And so now like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, whatever, it is that. It's just in a user one like POV type of thing where you can kind of control it on your own time, and there's no breaks, so
it's a raw format, and I think people are always attracted to no frills, like raw format.
Totally. Plus the ideas that these guys are coming up with are borderline really, I mean, it's performance art. It's like why Harmony Korine, as you know, people say smoked out, people say this, whatever, but he says, you know, his favorite, I think he said something akin to, I think he thinks Speed is like the next Tarkovsky or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe not, but irregardless, the fact that a Kai Cenat or Speed stream can evoke that feeling in one of the greatest living filmmakers, like truly means that like it's capitalism has transcended far enough to where now it like is almost true art, you know, like these guys are coming up with these bits to, you know, retain and enhance viewership, but it's like very, very artistic, and it's always context, right? Like if Kai Cenat did a live stream from MoMA PS1, it would probably be like the most avant-garde, best performance work since like the early 90s, seriously. But it's just all about context once again. So, and it's seen,
and clip farming
forever. Clip farming inherently is like, it's like the most tasteful, artful thing ever. It's, you know, I could go off on it, but I don't know. It's obviously really fascinating. There's a reason why these guys are like the most famous people in the world.
Yeah,
more famous than the Pope practically at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything's become like just spectatorship now. You know what I mean? It's all about just viewing somebody else do something instead of doing it yourself. You know what I mean? It's like kids are watching streamers and all that stuff, but like,
I mean, it's been prophesied. Guy Debord, Society of the Spectacle. 60, 70 years ago that book was written, and you know these French philosophers and thinkers saw it coming, and now we're just like living in it, and Warhol prophesied it too, and now we're fully living.
What, everyone's famous for 15 minutes?
Yeah, but now it's 15 seconds.
Yeah, seconds,
but now it's less than that. Like anybody who has a phone can go viral to where virality is kind of worthless now because anyone can go viral.
Yeah, the currency is not there anymore. You're not going to get some new career for going viral once or twice.
Like a kid who, you know, accidentally, pour the glass of water over his head on live television would be on Ellen the next day. Now it's like, no one cares.
Yeah.
It might not,
Get in line, kid. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, what's the point of being good at video games anymore if you can just watch someone else be good at video games, And I think there's a good and a bad about that, but I don't know. It blows my mind every day. Like, I know is much more apt at, I guess, sociology. Would that be the right word? Like, he's much more observant of that kind of stuff. And I'm I just feel like I'm in a tornado all the time where I'll kind of tap in and I'm like, oh shit.
Well, that's kind of the point, because like everyone is so disillusioned with their place in reality and making a name and, blazing a trail for themselves in the future because everything is so psychotic. So what better way to quell the fear of you not doing anything while also sort of tricking your brain into thinking that you were doing it? Well, you just watch
stimulate by watching other people.
Watch somebody else do something, and so you feel like you're a part of this thing, which is like inherently what fandom is. But now fandom is it's something completely different from what it used to be. But yeah, it's like, well, I'm like really afraid to do this thing, but I'm gonna watch somebody else do it, and now I can like feel a little bit of that dopamine that they're. So I don't know.
What is your story? Sorry.
Well, and then with going off of that, now it's like with fandom, it's like now it's no longer about just enjoying something that you like. It's about like competing with it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, the other day somebody was saying just egregious things about us online or something or other. And then I know I messaged them and was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, yo, sorry, man. I just like heard that one time, but like love your music. And it's like, what?
It's like, oh, he's like, I'll delete it. And it's like, it's like kids throwing temper tantrums. Like, look at me. Like everyone in this democracy, quote unquote, feels like that they can say something that matters because like, everybody's opinion kind of does matter now. You post one comment and you get to the top of TikTok or whatever. So like, I get it. People want power and they want to maintain that power. And what better way to do it than like, whether it be like ethically or morally, trying to take somebody else
clickbait
down.
A lot of it's clickbait.
Yeah.
Also, I've noticed any sort of like hate I'll get, that this is basic, but the account is not, there's no face on the account. It's a blank face. They only repost. They don't ever post their own shit.
Yeah,
always.
They're never man enough to like do it behind themselves.
Always. It's like, but for some reason in the panopticon, it seems like their voice is like divine, like this faceless, nameless nothing is like the gavel of God. And you're like, dude, this is nothing. Who are you? Like,
what have you done in your life? What the fuck have you done, man? You haven't done anything. You're just looking at two guys just being honest, and you're just saying
we're just vibing, man.
But on the other side of that, like, kind of sound like old heads being like, these damn kids are being mean. We're the real deal. But the other side of that, I kind of like it. It's almost like fraternity hazing. Like, you have to like sift the grain to get the best product. Like, you gotta like, you have to haze these people on the way up so that, like you're for sure, okay, these guys are battle ready. And like, if you can handle, some kids being mean, or we can handle, whatever ridiculousness that people throw at us, then like,
you're built for it.
Makes you built for it.
I think that's kind of cool you responded to the hater, because like a lot of times I think about it and if something, as we're growing with anything and being in public eye, you get haters or you get people who are going to try to be like keyboard warriors. But it's funny if you engage with them and like perpetuate that, or if you just say like, fuck you. Like,
that's the first time I've ever responded, but they just said something so asinine and then I'm like, okay, I have to like, did I do this? And I'm blacking it out. Like, this is crazy. So, but yeah, that was the only time. Otherwise it's like, most of the time I feel like if you interact with those people, then you're feeding the frenzy.
Yeah, not worth the energy, because it sucks a little bit of energy when you go to negative people.
I mean, the people at the bottom, they want to drag you to the bottom, man. Like, it's a metaphor that I think applies to everything that goes on in fucking everyday life. If you're at the bottom, you want to, it's like having it's like we've had friends or associates before that are just, lack of a better term, just fucking losers. You know what I mean? And they've taken full advantage of us being at a low point in our lives and being like, oh, you guys should, we can all do drugs together or something or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's
do drugs for the record.
Good.
Neither do I. And I've seen that with a lot of friends growing up. Like I had a friend whose mother passed away, and we had another friend who was just, he wanted to be a rapper, live the rapper lifestyle rather, drink the lean, pop the Zans, do the whole thing. And at the time, it was like I was really there for my friend, and the whole entire time he was like, yeah, dude, I'm so sorry about your mom, dude. Like, here's another bar as the annex, dude. But it wasn't like he was like, oh, I want to do this. It was like, oh, someone else can fuck their lives up with me.
With me, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't personal. I don't have anything against the guy. The good homie of mine for a little bit, but at this age now, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, you just found an opportunity to have someone go to the bottom with you. You know what I mean? I think it's the same thing to be applied to these people on the internet. You know, it's just come on down with me.
People hate to see somebody sort of successful, you know. They have two roads. One road is they can, you know, stay in it, or the other road is they can try and tear it down. And like you almost get more satisfaction out of tearing something down. Like there's more of a like inertic effect. Like seeing this thing crumble, like it has to be so pleasing for.
Oh, people like destruction. They want that.
I don't know. It's just sometimes. I mean, it doesn't really. None of that stuff really ever like bothers us. Like I think we're pretty blessed and grateful for what we've been able to achieve.
Well, the thing that bothers me is how fat I look on camera. So, like,
you're kidding, right?
I'm really not kidding. I thought it's a different conversation for.
Oh yeah, we got in a whole argument last night. I was like, "You gotta wear the jacket." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You gotta wear it. We're gonna look really cool." And then he did. Then he looked really cool, and it was a great show. And it was only because he wore the jacket. If he didn't wear that jacket last night,
You thought he looked fat in a jacket?
No, it wasn't like that. It's just
I'm just like inherently my build is more athletic. Like I grew up an athlete, and so
what sport?
I mean multiple, but and soccer was my best sport.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick.
I played in college.
Oh, very cool. I went to, do you know Fort Lewis College by chance? They always won national championships.
Is it in Colorado?
Yeah, it's in Colorado.
Okay.
But they breed a lot of like pro players there. But my life got too fucked up to actually pursue collegiate sports. But when I was really young, there were baseball scouts. So around when I was 7, coming to my games because I was so dominant. But then I looked at my dad and he's 5'9", and my mom's like 5'5". And they're like, well, we'll see if you grow. Yeah. I did not grow. So no professional sports. But like my hero was Derek Jeter, Tiger Woods. Yeah, those are my 2 heroes really growing up. And then like a little later, like Lou Reed. But yeah, that's all I care about.
Pretty good pipeline.
So my body is like more athletic inherently. So it just desperately wants to be like, yeah, what if we like, you know, what if we just filled you out a little bit, you know, constantly. So.
Yeah, what if we just fucked everything up? You know what I mean? I think it's kind of goes, but dude's pretty razor thin, pretty sharp in my opinion. You know, I think we both are. You know, but we're both very different in our perceptions of ourselves. I think. But what was I gonna say? It was just gonna tie that whole other point up. Well, frazzled, I'm a little hungover today. I'll be completely transparent with you.
It's okay. You had a show last night. You're able to be.
Oh no, but to the fact that like, you know, people speculating or saying these things about us and being like, well, they hang out with these guys, they must be that, or they look like they do those things. All these white guys are doing this and that, and I'm like, dude, I don't think there's any two more transparent like artists, social figures that are in this scene at all than Noah. And there's never been one moment where we're doing a bit or coming on here being like, oh, what if we fucking acted like assholes right now? Or what if we came up here and we like made a joke about something? We're like dead serious to everything we say. So that's why I'm like, how are you guys going to speculate about me if we're like, if we're honest about everything we say?
To parlay that point, it's interesting because like, I can't remember what award show, maybe it was the Oscars, which Timothée Chalamet won. And he said, I'm trying to be the best. And people were like, whoa, you can't say that.
Yeah, don't be too cocky.
Because people are now, they're very, like people are used to PR trained individuals or like in a hierarchy of like people higher up on the social hierarchy, they're used to being like very affable and like, oh yeah, like, you know, like very well presented so that you can appeal to modern America. And all of these politicians they all go to Ivy Leagues, you know, they're very well thought, very well read, they know it all. But on the campaign trail, they use, you know, they'll use like vernacular and code switch constantly, like, oh, like, we're gonna get you guys taken care of. Like, come on, you don't talk like that. That's not where you're from. Like, I know, but you know, and Americans sort of know that too, but they like being wrapped in the warm blanket of PR because we're so used to it. And so Chandler and I, you know, we're just brazen people and say whatever the fuck we want. And so people are like, well, those guys are arrogant, or those pushing 40, mind you. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, do you know that the reality you're living in, I created? My little ideas in my car when I was living in my car in Colorado are the entire reason why electronic music has had a resurgence, or the entire photographic style right now in the fashion world is because of my work. Like, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
People, of course, when they hear that, they're like, can't say that because Timothée Chalamet can't even say it. Timothée Chalamet is the GOAT. Look at his catalog. Yeah, he's the closest thing to Leo since Leo.
Dude,
like, yeah, he's like,
suck my dick.
Like he's the GOAT. So if he can't say his true feelings, even in a very PR-fied way,
still respectful. It was just confident. Yeah.
Exactly.
People still freak out.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't win. You know, whatever. You do what you do, and then we all.
I say keep doing your shit. Rock star. Be a rock star. That's it.
I guess, but you know,
I mean, for lack of a better term, but yeah, I completely mirror that sentiment, man. It's like there's never been one wavering moment of my existence, and I think Noah's in the last 10 years. I mean, there's definitely doubt here or there about certain things. You can't escape.
That's natural. We all have self-doubt.
But like there was, I don't know if you're familiar with our viral TikTok last year, or was it this year? Last year,
Bosnian jeans.
the Bosnian jeans thing.
Maybe
It was a whole.
You know Emma Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that whole thing. So she was like, I want to do a little fit thing with you. Okay, so let's set stage here. The first thing is break down what you're wearing and how much it costs. So immediately the implication there is what's the retail cost of what you're wearing. Okay, so we pulled up and it's, you know, I had what I thought was the funniest part about it was I was wearing 2 Hedi Salman jackets at once because it was cold, and we just go, we're wearing this and that and blah blah, and I was like, yeah, this jacket's about 4,000 and this is that and blah blah. Obviously I spent $800 on Facebook on it, but I digress. And the jeans, and there's this one specific brand of jeans I will not say on camera, and 10 years ago.
Wait, let's say it. You don't have to. I'm kidding. Keep going. Sorry.
Under the paving stones, the beach.
We will tell you after. We will
Whisper to my ear
the
later.
sand, and we will bring you to the denim wonderland.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
But
Don't tell. You're right. Keep going.
to be, you know, with us with this look or whatever, which is not a look. It's not a conscientious. Oh, we got to look like the Strokes. We got to do this. It's, dude, we have a 27 waist. We look like this. This is what our uniform is. It's our suit and tie to the guy who's a lawyer. We just happen to be this. You know what I mean? And there's this very specific pair of jeans, this very specific fit from this brand, and they haven't made them for over a decade. Now, to find low-waisted skinny jeans in a 27 or 28 waist with a 30, 40, or 36 inch seam, mind you, I'm 6 feet tall. Anything that's made in a 27, 28 now, majority of the time it has a 30 inch inseam or a 32 inch inseam. So these jeans were stockpiled in a lot of post-communist countries.
Eastern Bloc.
Yeah, Eastern Bloc, you know, Lithuania, Bosnia, Ukraine, Croatia, and they're on eBay and all that. And we've bought in every single pair. We've bought in every single pair you possibly can. I have like search notifications on my email and everything. And when they said where the jeans are, I said, I'm not gonna say what the jeans are. You know, we get a lot of them from like Bosnia. And I meant that sincerely. And it wasn't a joke. And it was because if there's, you know, if any of our fans knew what these jeans were, they would buy them all. If there's one other person that wants these jeans that Noah and I wear, that's too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And the second we just had Bosnian jeans, it immediately became, oh, these guys, like, all they care about is their looks and their money. Like, they're not real rock stars. Like, they think they're cool because who spends $4,000 on a jacket? Oh, you know, these guys, like, my favorite TikTok, yeah, Bosnian jeans, haha, yeah, it's so funny. And I'm like, you know who we are. You know that we make good work. You respected us as artists and you came to our show, and now you're using this as a way to make fun of us all of a sudden now. And it kind of was like the best and worst thing that happened to us last year, where it was just like we became these Bosnian jean guys. And we're not. We're just dudes who like certain types of jeans that we refuse to admit what they are, because if we do, then other people are going to buy them and then we can't find our jeans anymore.
It brings up a greater point of like I was talking about earlier, people are disillusioned with themselves, and they want to tear things down in like this comedic way. You know, everything is comedically like we're gonna fuck things up. It's gonna be within comedy, like Bosnian jeans, haha, these guys suck, whatever. But you can't blame them because it's like Karl Marx again. He said, anytime there's laughter, it's tearing down an institution. Laughter is designed, the modern idea of laughter and comedy is designed to destroy institutions. And I think that's what people are doing. That's why everything has to be a bit, or everything has to be so funny. And anyone who is more, you know, like going by the numbers and like straight up, it's not seen as something that works in this timeline, because people want to completely destroy any artifact of institution left, and so it doesn't, and it knows no bounds. Well, we're gonna destroy the Hellp because with the Bosnian jeans, because like everything just needs to come down. Like we truly are in like this anarchist era almost, but like I was saying earlier, anarchist up into the point where I can still Uber Eats my matcha. You know, so like we're caught in we're caught in this tussle here. So and it's like a painful tussle because there's like no real change or movement is happening. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just yeah. So
I don't know how we get out of this. We kind of have to progress somehow, but I don't know where we go.
I mean, inevitably it will. Like that's just how life works. Like it will progress, but hard to say how and why. But
I mean, I think, I mean, you know, with like AI, for example, like I think all the tools, I mean, the barrier to entry to do anything now has been completely destroyed. You know what I mean? Like before, let's say Noah and I wanted to be these electronic synthesizer fucking cool guys in like 2007. It's like, not everyone has a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to record a synth? Do you know how to run a MIDI sequencer? You know what I mean? You know how to record drums? Like, no, probably not. You really had to learn how to do that. But tools are so simplified, but it's happened so quickly that I think like we're in this moment where once these tools really are accessible to everybody, then I think hopefully the best case scenario, in my opinion, is that it's just going to refine everything back down to taste. It's just going to be who can have the best taste when they do things, which it's always been about. But right now it's like not a lot of taste happening.
There's still a technical barrier to get to the taste as opposed to now when, you know, obviously we're less than 5 years away from being able to just type in, make a Two Hollis type beat. It's going to be the best Two Hollis beat you've ever heard in your life. So
sure,
you know, it's going to be more about the aura. It's going to be more about like
bringing it back to if you have it or not. I think that'll shine.
Absolutely.
Totally. Which is how it's always been. Like when bedroom pop exists, like, you know, like early bedroom pop when, you know, anybody could just produce out of their bedroom. People, I mean, like all the old heads hated that. Oh, well, you got to know how to use the 76 channel mixer board in the studio. Like, no, you don't. Like Clairo can go in her bedroom and make like the best song you've ever heard. So that's just what's going to happen. And I mean, I'm honestly excited to be a part of it and hopefully like weaponize it in a certain type of way, but we'll see.
That's cool. Yeah, no, you've made like a very solid, I think, legacy with that. And not to group myself with you too, but I feel like I'm trying to do that a little bit with
sure. I mean, and you already have, even like, and I'm sure you've done it even, you know, before like this sort of front-facing internet life that you're living now, but especially even in the last like 6 to 8 months, like especially since things have sped up so much, like you've been able to impact culture, I think, like in a way like 5 or 10 years ago, it would have taken you 5 years to impact culture as much as you've impacted the culture the last 6 to 9 months. So, and it's been really cool to watch. Like I said off camera, I'm a big fan of yours, and I love the takes. I love the positioning, and like we were talking about also off camera, I love, you know, like kids call it onk. I call it a liaison, whatever you want to call it. But it's like, you know, people need a sort of North Star to help define their taste for them, because it's really hard when you're young. Like people kind of forget how hard it is to be 15 to 20 years old. Like things are everywhere, and do I like this?
Yeah, you're finding yourself so much and looking for people to grapple onto that can kind of help you with that.
Totally.
And be a positive influence.
Exactly.
Right. And I think you've been a great figure for that, and I think you should be proud of yourself for that.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
And I hope you get as big as Johnny Carson.
Please do. To that point, you know, like that's how I feel about, you know, what we do is like growing up, like, you know, as Noah said, unk, whatever the fuck people want to call us, you know what I mean? Like it's when we grew up, I mean, Noah had a very different experience with music growing up. Like, you know, but my parents were, he grew up very religious, and I didn't. My parents were like punk rockers, fucking whatever. And it was like, you know, I liked Blink-182, and I had a little VHS documentary about them called the Urethra Chronicles. I highly recommend anybody watch it. It's incredible. I watched it every night before bed, and I had their CD, and the majority of that connection to them that I had was my imagination. Why are they writing about this? Why are they singing about this? Why they look like this? They're skateboarders from California, and that's a huge muscle that I believe that like has, you know, to tie it back to fandom, has been corrupted. Is like it's the imagination. Why are they writing about this? Why do I relate to this? You know, and all that. And those.
Do you remember laying down and picturing a girl in the back of your eyelids for like 30 minutes unbroken at a time? Well, now you can't do that. You just look at her Instagram. You know,
there's no mystery. It's all
absolutely
lost.
Absolutely,
it's nothing.
And when I think about what kids have to look up to today, like growing up, I was like, Blink-182, maybe they were brazen, offensive, you know, whatever. But like, you know, if they weren't doing that on stage, they would be doing the same thing in a parking lot skateboarding. And if Oasis wasn't doing what Oasis does on stage. They'd be in a fucking pub yelling the same shit at a football match. You know what I mean? And kids don't really have that anymore, where it's like, you talk about these streamers and stuff like that. Yeah, dude, shout out Speed, shout out Kai Cenat, like, yeah, and all that. But what is that really representing to them in their upbringing? You know what I mean? What is that? How is that really helping them, guide them to be better people? You know what I mean? And the people that Noah and I look up to growing up to were people, were artists and people who sacrificed and wanted to just create something beautiful in the world, and in turn make the world a better place with creating better things and more beautiful things.
Like you said, you know, the potential word of next year, performative. Anything that's seen as what Chandler's talking about is now performative.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're doing too much, bro.
Yeah, everyone's trying to be too nonchalant.
Yeah, exactly. And that obviously is coming to an end here, because like we're kind of I think peak nonchalance was like 6 months ago, probably. That seemed to be the peak. And like, after that, I think like the pendulum will most likely swing the other way, to where, you know, impassioned speech might come back and whatever. But I mean, who really knows? It could even continue. But it just seems like the best outcome for humanity is to be very voracious in your pursuit of who you are, as opposed to like you know, type shit. You know, like
I saw a TikTok that was like how men show other men they care about them, and it was like really nice saying. It was like, you really helped me the other day, type shit. It's like, you're one of the best father figures in my life, type shit.
What's interesting is like that's no different from like, if you think about James Dean again, or like Clint Eastwood, those films, like it's the same male problem of like emotional expression, but just like before they were like looking at each other like grit teeth, you know, and like didn't say anything. But now it's like we've progressed far enough to where you can say something, but then be like, do the non sequitur and like reverse it, like type shit. You know?
Type shit.
You know, it's like, that's like, it's the same male issue. You know, men not really expressing their emotions effectively, but
it's always gonna be that way. That's genders. It's gonna be life.
What am I gonna do? Tell Noah I love him? You know, give him a little kiss? Maybe.
Why not?
I mean, I do both those things. I try to. He usually gets pretty angry and like pushes me away. But what I'm getting at here, though, is what's been very, very important to me is, you know, like it's whatever. You play shows, you do your job, you clock in, you clock out. But like, you know, when we meet these fans and stuff like that, I'm like, damn, like I know for certain that these kids that are fans of us now, they're gonna be. They could be 50 years old having a kid, and they can look back at a song like fucking SSX and just remember, and that will mean something to them, and that will inspire them. And I think we have made beautiful work that
is my favorite song of your guys, by the way.
It's a classic.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, absolutely.
It is a classic. You kind of only get one of those sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's so easy to just, why did you make more of that? It's like, I don't know,
fucking moment in time.
I remember when I made that song, I was sitting across the guy who I initially started the band with. He had left the band in kind of a distasteful way, and I went back to Colorado, and Chandler went back to NorCal, and I was sitting across from my dad on the couch, and I never really opened up the laptop before, because I was playing guitar mostly on the previous records and like producing that way, and the other guy, he was doing most of the computer work. Just opened up, what do you call it? Not Logic, what's the...
GarageBand.
Opened up GarageBand and like made the counter melody in like 2 seconds, made the other synth, and I was like, shit's a hit. This is easy.
Wait, this is fire.
I was like, this music shit's easy. I don't know if y'all are talking about it. Like, this is so easy. My dad was like, turn that off. And I was like, well, if my dad doesn't like it, it's definitely a hit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of those almost beginner luck situations. And
for sure.
Yeah.
I have a similar story. So with one of my buddies I grew up with, we have put out just a couple like house tracks.
Yeah.
And we used to make mashups in high school, and we did it all. But our first song has 2 million streams that we put out 3 years ago. And it was beginners, exactly what you're talking about. I was like, wait, this synth kind of works. And like these drums are sexy. So like, let's just put it out. And the first song we put out did really well. And we don't really do anything now with it, because we're like, we can't do that again.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny, beginner's luck sometimes.
I'm not really a great songwriter. I'm good at like lyrics, but songwriting is, it just, at least in the process of how we do things, like it's not really like I'm writing a song. Like I make a beat and then I try and patch vocals over.
Yeah, it's secondary.
Which is what like most people do, you know, like they make the beat and they kind of freestyle over it or whatever. So, and only the best of the best can truly make like a brilliant song freestyle, like a Young Thug or a Jay-Z or I'm a Loki, even like Met. I was in the studio with him once and like seeing him how he freestyles over things. I'm like, this is art. The way he's doing this is like, you know, people can make fun of him for like however they think he sounds, but like watching him do it, I'm like, oh, this is like I'm watching a painter or an artist.
Yeah, it's an artist. Yeah,
I'm watching an artist right now. So, but the song comes first always, and everybody gets caught up in like, oh, but if I triple LFO on Serum 2 that you stopped, and then I distort it, and then I sidechain it, and like then I put like grow my hair out to look like, you know, flawless, and then I go I horror farm, then I'm gonna like love myself. Bitch, what are you talking about? Like, write something heartfelt with an acoustic guitar, and then like go from there.
It's funny, Zach. That's exactly what me and my buddy Charlie we were talking about. We right before, because we had to go to Montreal on the 5th. That was like the first show of the tour, and we were working on the record, preparing for this tour. Then I had to go to a wedding, and shout out Kevin Lynn. I was a groomsman in a wedding. I'd never done that before. Partied super hard. I had to get to the airport at 3 a.m. to catch a flight to get to New York to go see Oasis at MetLife. And were you able to see Oasis on this?
I wasn't. No.
Fuck
A bunch of my buddies went to Dublin. They're at the Dublin.
That's awesome, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
But Oasis, like, you know, like for example, like I said, like Blink 182 is my favorite band, and when I think back to all the shows I've seen of theirs, I'm like, oh, dude, you know, when they did Adam's song, that was so special. But Oasis, it was just one continuous, just fucking, whoa, this is great. Then it was over, and I wanted to cry. And it was Charlie and I were talking about. I was like, dude, it's just about the song. It was just the song. It wasn't about shit. You know, all he said, he'd be like, oh, fucking love you, New Jersey, or New York, where the fuck we are. Rock and roll song, and just does that. And listen, I'm gonna be transparent here. I'm not comparing us to Oasis. We could never do that. You know, I know we're two guys that look like brothers, but we're not Oasis. But there is something very similar, I think, we have to that quality of their stage presence, their live show, where like, if you were at the show last night, which unfortunately you weren't, I'm very sorry for that. The show was about the song. How many fucking words do you think Noah said to the audience? How many words do you think he said to the audience outside of the thing?
5.
You said, New York. You guys know this one. Okay, new song. And I think the last thing you said was, yeah, we're not making bangers anymore, or some shit like that. And like, it's just about the song. And I completely mirror Noah's sentiment about that. Is like, dude, it's just about the song. It's not about this, not about the production stuff. And we've gotten caught up, and I'm a victim of it myself at times, of really being like, the snare could change the pitch here and it can do this. And it's like, it just doesn't matter. It's just about fucking song, the song. And Oasis is a great example. And I think our new record is as well. But Oasis, it's like, fucking Stand By Me. That's fucking Stand By Me for like 5 minutes, dude. And you're just in it. And these new songs, we finally kind of just went all in with these 4.5 minute just rippers, in my opinion, you know. And it's just about the song and not trying to direct it anywhere, letting it take you where it needs to go. And it's, if you kind of do that, sometimes it becomes pretty obvious what a song is. You know what I mean? If you kind of approach it like that, if any of that made sense.
Just trying to make more elevated, more mature music that's like segregated from the indie sleaze of it all. And like the, you know, because like I know it's a lot of the fans want, like they go crazy to it, and I get it, but just not you. Everyone forgets, like, oh, why doesn't Vincent Gallo make another movie? It's like, he's not called to make another movie, you know. Like, there was a time in his life when he wanted to make the movie, and like it was speaking to him. And so yeah, he was like, whatever the plight of the artist is, like it is what it is. So I don't know. Yeah, the new record is I think it's our most tasteful record.
Yeah.
And yeah, I quite like it. But
Well, anything else you guys want to talk about? I think that was kind of a good little hour we got in there.
anything else you want to, if there's anything else on your list, we can hit succinctly.
I think we hit most of it. I think we got it. I appreciate your time. You guys are the man.
Thank you.
The men's.
The men's room.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And we're definitely in good company with the rest of the crew you got. So yeah.
Yeah.
Say anything else we have to say? Was that your?
Yeah. If we wanted to touch on anything the last like minute or two.
You know, I love my life. I love my friends. I'm I'm honored and blessed every day to be able to share something so special with somebody like Noah Dillon here. And the show last night was one of my favorite experiences of my life. And I think our new record is really good. I'm really happy about it. And fucking some days I'm like, you know, I don't want to die, you know, and it's not because I'm scared of going to hell. It's just, I just don't want this fucking ride to end, man, because I'm having a pretty good time.
It's real.
Right on.
That's real.
Noah?
That's about all I got to say. Let's listen to the new record, or don't. But yeah, I'm almost more excited just to see the trajectory of what you're going to do. So we'll see.
We're locked in now for greatness, though.
I honestly wish that, I wish I could dress like you, like we're about to like double RL, and like this is kind of how men should be dressing, but you know, you can't be something you're not. And like
Variety, you have to be yourself. You have to lean into what feels right to you.
Yeah.
It's so funny because with fashion, I'll try certain things, and like throughout my life, I've always tried a couple different things. It's like, I don't know if this feels right. I don't know if it works, but by trying it, you come back to like what's authentic to you.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to try it. Okay, well, I'll just keep yapping, but I do feel bad for kids nowadays because their failures are broadcast online for everybody to see. So
people are too scared to fail.
Exactly. Like there's photos of me on the internet where I'm wearing the first V-Lone t-shirt ever shipped out, and people are like, "Oh, I knew he was a poser," and I'm like, dude, what? What are you talking about? So, you know, like, you know, like these kids now have to be perfect all the time. And like, because of that, there's no exploration or creativity. And they can't go out there to find out who they truly are. So it's kind of.
Absolutely.
Kids, go explore more.
Explore more.
Yeah, explore more.
Do your thing. Don't be afraid to fail, man. Noah and I, we've failed a lot. And it's fun.
Still failing.
We're failing right now. Look at us.
We keep failing. Failing upwards, though.
That's what they say.
Chandler, Noah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, brother. Game recognized game.
Game recognized game. Enjoy.
Peace, bro.